Om Sahanavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavanto Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. In the verses that we have in our folder, page you will have to search out. Anyway, the first. Let me recite the verse, you please repeat after me. Kim karma karmeti kavayopyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajñātvā mokṣase shubhāg. Kim karma? Karma means action. Kim karma? What is action? Kim akarma? What is inaction? Iti kavaya api mohitaha. Kavaya means the scholars, I should not say the wise people, but those who are intelligent and those who are scholars. Even scholars in the Vedic scriptures, even they are also mohitaha, deluded. Moha means taking something to be contrary to what it is called moha. A standard example that Veda gives, or Vedanta gives rather, of moha is the rope snake example, Rajju Sarpa. What is there, what is lying there is a rope. And what I perceive there is a snake. So this is a classical example of what moha is. Means aviveka. You can translate ever as you want, we call it delusion, etc. But then this is moha. Aviveka. Viveka means discrimination, knowing thing as it is. Aviveka means knowing it to be contrary to what it is. Thus, what is rope, and knowing that to be contrary as a snake is called moha or aviveka. Meaning that even learned people also have quite delusions or false notions about what is karma, what is action and what is inaction. Tatte karma pravakshami. Therefore, Arjuna, I will now explain to you. Prakarshena vakshami. I will explain to you very well what is karma and what is akarma. A little bit of Sanskrit, if you know tatte karma, you can imagine avagraha chinha there. So tatte akarma, there is an eliding of the akara. So tatte karma pravakshami. I will explain to you what karma is. I will explain to you what akarma is. All right, Lord, why should I be bothered about knowing what is karma, action, what is inaction? Lord Krishna says, Yajñātva mokṣase ashubhāt. Yajñātva, knowing which, meaning knowing simple thing, what is karma, what is action, and what is inaction. Knowing that you will get liberated from samsara. Now this is a big deal. Ashubhat mokshase. Ashubha means inauspicious. Shubha means auspicious. Like death we call inauspicious, Ashubha. Three things in life can be called Ashubha or inauspicious. Death, of course, is inauspicious. Life is auspicious. Ignorance also is inauspicious. Knowledge is auspicious. And dukkham, sorrow also is inauspicious. Sukham, happiness is auspicious. Here, Arjuna, you will get liberated from inauspicious. Liberated from death, liberated from ignorance, liberated from sorrow. Now, this is a big thing. Simply by knowing what is karma, action, and what is akarma, inaction, you will get liberated. Meaning that all the problems of life will be solved. Really, Swamiji, the problem of my teenage son will be solved. How about my boss? Will they be solved? The problem part will be solved. Meaning that, but what about the matrimonial alliance for my daughter? Will that be solved? Now, knowing Atma, I do not know whether that will be solved or not. It may be. But then, the sorrow the anxiety, the worry, the sorrows, the dukkha that it causes you. This was just an example, But then, you will be free in your life from all sorrow. Then nothing will cause sorrow to you. Nothing will cause unhappiness to you. Because Vedanta says as what is fullness, wholeness. Now that's right now a question, that is our, that is our goal. But if we come to know that, then you will realize that there is no place. Everything is all right, not in all, everything is perfect. Everything, even my daughter doesn't get married, it's perfect. It's perfect. I don't mean that is how it should be. That's not what is meant by perfect. I wish that she gets married and everything. But you will understand the secret of everything. What we observe and what we experience are the superficial things. Like karma is superficial, action. Inaction also is superficial. So also a desirable event is superficial. An undesirable event also is superficial. These are superficial things. If we take them to be the ultimate reality, then we are going to be certainly unhappy. Because everything is incomplete and therefore nothing can, as it is, can make us happy. Something can make me happy right now. When I look at it in this way, then later I find it's other way. And so nothing can give me permanent happiness. No event, no situation, nothing can give me permanent happiness. And that's what happened to Arjuna also, that he was very unhappy at the situation that was there. So Lord Krishna wants him to know not just what is the apparent form of the situation, what is the truth of the situation. Yajñātva mokṣase ashubhāt. Knowing even the truth of what is unpleasant, truth of success, truth of failure, truth of honor, truth of dishonor, action, inaction, honor, dishonor, success, failure. If you know the truth of those things, Ashubha, there will be no room for any unhappiness, sadness, worries, anxieties, samsara in your life. And therefore, Lord Krishna invites us to look into what is on the surface is karma, action, inaction, etc. What is the surface are all the waves in the ocean. But then what is the essence of them is water. So what we experience, what we perceive, all this variety, diversity, the duality, that is what our sense organs of perception are designed to tell us. But understand that our buddhi interprets what it perceives. My eyes will tell me what are the colors and forms, that's what they will say. My buddhi says, what you see is different from you and you are different from that. Now, eyes don't tell me that. Eyes say that this is a green color, this is orange color, or whatever color is. Ears will say this is the sound, this is the word. The sense organs of perception simply give me the information. It is my mind or my intellect that interprets that interpretation. That is what Lord Krishna wants to address. There is no need to change the realities outside. It is not what is that is the cause of your sorrow, Arjuna. That there is a battlefield and that there is a duty and that you to perform that duty, all of this need not cause ashubha or pain or unhappiness. It's the way you interpret them is what causes unhappiness. It's the way you understand them will release you from unhappiness. Simple as that. Yad jnatva, the verse says, Yad jnatva mokshase ashubhat. By knowing which, you become free from ashubha, inauspicious, from death, from ignorance, from pain, from sorrow. Now, before explaining this karma, Lord Krishna presents his own self because the truth of everything is the same. Truth of karma, akarma, the universe, the self, Ishvara, what is, the truth of everything is the same. Just as from the water various kinds of waves emerge, so from one truth all these waves, Ishvara, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, happiness, unhappiness, all of these different waves and wavelets emerge from water, one truth. Therefore, just as you take any wave, and the reality is water, so take anything in the universe, and the reality will be one. So, since in Bhagavad Gītā, the karma, the duty is one of the important issues for Arjuna. Therefore, Lord Krishna takes karma to analyze what karma really is. Yajñātva mokshase ashubhat. Here Arjuna, knowing which you will become free from all ashubha, from samsara, from conflict, from worries, anxieties, dukkha, sorrow. So, before that, Lord Krishna says that Chaturvarnyam maya sustam gunakarma vibhaga saksha. Lord Krishna says, I have created this universe. Tasya kartara, know me to be the creator of this universe. Vidhi akartaram, and know me also as not the creator. Why am I talking about Lord? Because the reality of Lord happens to be reality of ourselves. That is reality of karma, reality of anything, because reality is one. So in the 4th chapter, Lord Krishna prefers to describe himself. I have created the universe of four varna, Brahmana, Kshatriya. I will not go into that kind of thing right now. It's not, relevant here. In satsang, you can ask me those questions. Important is tasya kartarapi mam vidhi. Here, Arjuna, may you know me to be the creator of this diverse universe. Now, you created this. Our Puja Swami used to say, if Ishvara also looks down upon the world and sees what is happening and thinks that I have created this, he will be depressed. With the akartaram avyakt, but know me to be akarta, that I have not created also. So Ishvara can look at the world and know that I have nothing to do with it. So who is I have created and still I have nothing to do with it. Now this Lord Krishna explains in the Gita in various places. So this is the secret, how to do everything and still not to do anything. Namam karmaṇo limpanti name karma phalesvara. What's the secret, O Lord? And on one hand you say that you have created everything and you have not created also. Namam karmaṇo limpanti name karma phalesvara. Here Arjuna, the karma does not taint me, nor have I any attachment for the result of the karma. Imagine the situation that you perform the karma and you have no attachment to what the outcome will be, meaning whatever the outcome is. Suppose you are that frame of mind that you perform an action and unconcerned about what the outcome is. So how can it be? You can't function in the world. When it's unconcerned doesn't mean you don't plan your action. You do not plan an outcome. But then if the outcome comes as desired, well and good. As comes as not desired, well and good. Success, well and good. Failure, well and good. Swamiji, world will not function like this. If you follow your teaching, then I guess, no, if you follow the teaching, you will be very happy. Success does not create elation in you. Failure does not cause depression in you. Understand that success does not create elation. Failure does not create depression. What creates elation, depression, harsha, shoka is what, Not what happens out there. What happens here. An action is performed, success comes there, let's say, as a result of that action. That is fine. As long as that is the situation, I am fine. But I go a step further. You know what I say? I am successful. You follow? Karma phala spruha. What is meant by attachment to karma phala? Understand this. Lord Krishna says, perform your action and give up attachment to the outcome. What does Lord Krishna want us to give up? Will you perform action, not worry about the outcome? No. Nobody can perform an action without the concern about outcome. You always plan an outcome, and that's how you should perform action. When Swamiji, I perform an action, did not succeed. Don't you think I'll be depressed? Will not failure make me depressed? Doesn't have to. Success or failure in themselves need not create any reactions in me. But I go a step further. What do I say? I am successful. You follow that success is now connected to I. Now who has done that? I have done it. Success is simply the outcome of the effort, isn't it? And connected to karma. failure also is the outcome of the effort connected to the karma phala. Name karma phale spruha, have no longing for the karma phala. That doesn't mean Lord Krishna does not plan his action, not that he doesn't want a certain outcome. When he creates the world, there is a certain, system here. It is not haphazard. Very systematic creation is there. What do you mean by there is no attachment to karma phala, no attachment to the outcome? I think this is very important to understand in day-to-day life. No attachment to outcome does not mean that I am not concerned about outcome. That I don't plan for a given outcome. That I don't make the effort to create that outcome. Everything is there as we do. I plan for an outcome, I make an effort to arrive at that outcome. We go a step further. And what do I say? When my action is what I call successful, what I say, I am successful. When action fails to attain my desired result, what do I say? I am a failure. That is where the problem is. Success and failure are not the problem. Everywhere we see success and failure. And Lord Krishna does not say even I perform the action. That's, we may say that I perform the action. Even that is also okay. Lord Krishna goes a step further. But suppose you and I say that we perform the action, and that is desirable, so we can take responsibility of action. We should. But as far as reward or result of action is concerned, that also is there. Success and failure, loss and gain, that's the reality of life. Where the problem is that I am successful is a problem, I am failure. But Swami, I am successful, I am failure is a problem. Not successful, but successful means someday I will also brand myself as a failure. So the moment I connect the I with the thing, that is when anything becomes a problem, when I connect it with I. Nothing becomes a problem when I is not connected. When from the balcony of my house I am looking down at the street and then, these all kinds of processions are going on. Funeral procession also goes on and we watch that. In one funeral procession I found very familiar faces. Hey, wait a minute. All people are who died? Hey, my friend. Now, moment that person who died got connected to me, immediately reaction came to. Otherwise it doesn't. Lots of things happen in Ukraine and then all kinds of statistics come and go and we turn the pages. I turn the pages anyway. But one Indian student, was trapped and this happened, then there is a concern. If there is, so what I am saying is something becomes a matter of concern when I is connected. And that connection is carried out by me. The real I does not get connected. This is what Lord Krishna wants to teach. And for that he gives his own example. But here Arjuna, Chaturvarnyam, I created the universe consisting of Chaturvarnya. Tasya kartaram apimam vidhi, know me to be the creator of the universe. With akartaram, and know me to be not creator. Is it possible? Can these two contradictory things exist in one locus? That I do it and say I don't do it? Yes, we give an example of an actor performing a role on the stage. Actor by himself is a very wealthy person. Imagine that he takes the role of a beggar. Standard, that's all I remember. Every time I give only one example, unfortunately. Maybe we should change. But about Swamiji equal A and B and B and A, and that's why that example keeps on coming to me. Because a million or a billionaire actor performs the role of a beggar. So he begs, he does not beg. He's begging on the stage. From the standpoint of the audience, from his own standpoint, do you think he thinks that I'm a beggar? This actor, while performing the role of a beggar, he knows that I'm a wealthy person, that this is just a role. Understand that the actor must be aware of his identity while performing role. Otherwise it doesn't remain a role, it becomes a reality. So he performs, he begs. And he does not beg. Is it not so? From the standpoint of the audience, he is begging. From his own standpoint, he is not begging. Puja Swami used to describe, that he brings out tears from his eyes. That's what a beggar is supposed to do. So while he produces tears and the audience really is affected by their emotion, he is laughing inside. How effectively I am producing tears. So here is a very interesting situation. He begs and still does not beg. So Lord Krishna says, I create and still I do not create. Lord Krishna describes his secret because his secret is secret of everything. Our secret also. The reason why we are discussing what Lord Krishna is because in the ultimate sense, the truth of Lord Krishna happens to be our truth also. Therefore we are discussing. Therefore Lord Krishna describes that. Tasya kartara imam viddhi akartaram avyayam. No me to be the agent of the act of creation, because who created the universe? Ishvara created the universe. It's a very systematic creation. Ishvara, the creator, must be omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. The creator must have the knowledge of what he wants to create. So creator of the world must have knowledge of the whole universe. He must be omniscient. This is how we explain Ishvara. Well, our picture of Ishvara, the creator. So Brahma is a creator. You know what Brahmaji is, how he is depicted? Brahmaji is always meditating on the tip of this Mount Meru. Brahma is meditating. Who is the preserver? Lord Vishnu. You know what he is doing? He is also lying on his serpent bed in his yoga nidra. Lord Shiva is the destroyer. What is he doing? Also meditating. He is a great meditator. Well, devatas are doing nothing. They are always meditating. That means that for doing all of this, they don't have to do anything. That's what it means. Meaning that what happens in their presence. And why should we be concerned about what Brahma, etc. do? Because that is our nature also. That's what the reason why Lord Krishna describes him is that when we understand what that Lord is, we also understand what we are. Even though his costume is different, our costume is different. He has a cosmic costume, universal costume. We have these little insignificant costumes. The costumes are quite different. But then the one putting on the costume is the same. Therefore, understanding the Lord is understanding ourselves. Namam karmaṇo limpanti name karma phale spruha. Lord Krishna says, the actions do not taint me. I have no longing for the reward of the actions. Itimam yo vijanati, one who knows me also becomes free. So this is how karma is presented here, and also a basis for understanding the reality, which also is the reality of ourselves. Kim karma, kim akarma iti Kavayo pyatra mohitaha. You look at this simply, you look at the outward form. You see this person begging on the stage and think that there is a real beggar there, and then you sympathize with him and you walk up and give him a $5 bill or something like that. It will be ridiculous, Kavayo pyatra mohitaha. That actor is functioning so effectively that we think that there is a real beggar, real things are going on. Sometimes movies are so effective that people, they also experience the same emotion that is going on there. People laugh and people cry and all sorts of things happen while watching the movie because we just become one with that. Meaning that the acting can be so effective that the viewers may think that what is going on is real. Therefore Lord Krishna says, recognize what is the real part and what is the unreal part, that everything is made up of two parts, like that beggar, made of real part who is a wealthy person, and the actor part, the beggar or the costume part. The whole world comes in costume. Karma also comes in costume, the performer of karma also comes in a costume, everything comes in a costume. Costume of name and form. And our mind penetrates only up to the costume, we cannot see beyond that costume. We have taken this costume to be real, that's how we are living our life. Ashubham meaning the sorrow is there, not because there is a reason for sorrow, but this costume is given reality, and I think that's all I am. That costume is given reality, I think that's all you are. And then naturally I am different, you are different, all differences are there, divisions are there, all kinds of problems are there. So, therefore Lord Krishna wants to explain that what you are experiencing is the outer name and form, the costume. Yad jnatva mokshase asubhat. Penetrate that costume, understand what is behind that costume. And knowing that, you will be liberated. Swamiji, we are not yet liberated. You have been describing since this morning. I also made a statement in the morning that, look, it is true that even when we are told this, that you are liberated already, it does not touch me, does not affect me. That is because we said in the morning that we need to create a sensitivity. For that, Lord Krishna described and asked us to perform karma with the attitude of yoga. And that you must have heard in the morning from Swamiji. And so we said yoga means being other-centered, self-centered and other-centered. Simple change. That when I do something, it's not my interest that is important, interest of someone else whom I am interacting with is important, etc., etc. That brings about a transformation from a self-centered person to an other-centered person. But other-centered means that I become sensitive to other. I'm concerned about the other. I'm concerned about the likes and dislikes of others. I'm concerned about the needs. That's why the marriage is there, I think the married life gives an excellent opportunity. Both ways, but the idea is that each one, if each one, our Swami used to say, somebody said, what's the duty, Swamiji, now that we are married, what's our duty? He made a simple statement. The duty of husband is to make the wife happy, and duty of wife is to make husband happy. put them on a trip forever. How to make somebody happy now, you can keep on working on that. But it is as simple as that. How can I make the spouse happy? Anybody becomes happy when we do what they like. When avoid what they do not like and do what they like, then they're happy. What's the big problem? Swami, you have no problem. Maybe. Because you have nothing to lose and gain, because nothing touches you, you can simply wash your clothes or whatever it is. The thing is that's why sannyasi. But then we are all connected and we have a lot of things with concern. But if this simple thing is done, so this married life is a great opportunity to grow, that each spouse is concerned about the other, about the well-being of the other, happiness of the other. Just do what the other person makes that person happy, do that. But Swamiji, in doing that, what about me? So unhappiness comes to me. For making the other one happy, I have to undergo a lot of unhappiness. What about that? Let it be. Some price has to be paid. Suppose you are willing to pay that price. This is karma yoga, by the way. Thus, the family life gives a great opportunity to perform action with the attitude of yoga. You don't have to go out to the world. The setup itself is adequate to test you. And therefore, you are devoted to your family. Don't worry about the world. And do what makes them happy. So nothing makes them happy. It's easy for me to say, I know, because I'm not a part of that. And difficult to do, no doubt about that. But only after doing difficult things that we grow, otherwise we don't grow. No pain, no gain. So karma yoga involves pain. At every step, karma yoga involves always the sacrifice of my self-interest. The true yoga is where there is no self-interest at all. I perform an action with no self-interest. It's an ideal situation. But that is exactly what Lord Krishna is teaching. And we don't lose anything. Looks like we are losing a lot of things. When I give up myself, it's very painful, Swamiji. Because my ego gets hurt, my ego gets injured. But this is exactly what they want. That you're holding on to the wrong thing. So let it go. Let it get hurt. Let it get slowly, let it vanish in course of time. Don't hold on to that. Ego means sense of individuality. Raga dveshas basically. Ego means raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion. That's what we are required to give up while performing action. And we feel very pained to give up raga dvesha, not realizing that they are the cause of my unhappiness. And so by holding on to them, I'm holding on to unhappiness. And therefore a simple life of even a family, to create harmony within the few members of family. If each member of family is just willing to let go their own raga dveshas, but Swamiji, my teenage children won't understand. All right, you understand. Anyway, so this is what Lord Krishna taught in the 3rd chapter in order for us to understand what is being taught in the 4th chapter. That what Puja Swami call emotional maturity, what Vedanta calls antahkarana shuddhi, purification of mind, becoming free from raga dveshas. becoming sensitive. All right, Swamiji, so what is the secret of karma you are talking about now? The next verse also says further, from where you have taken the part of the statement, karmaṇo hyapi bodhavyam bodhavyam cha vikarmaṇah akarmaṇascha bodhavyam Gahanā karmaṇo gatiḥ. Karmaṇo hyapi bodhavyam. See the translation? That action. So action also is to be understood. What is action is to be understood. Bodhavyam cha vikarmaṇah. What is the nishiddha karma, forbidden action, vikarma, or nishiddha karma is also to be understood. Akarmaṇasya bodhavyam. And also we should understand what is inaction. Means if you understand action, inaction, then right, wrong, all actions are understood. So what's the big deal, Swami? Bhagavan, what's the big deal? Performing karma is called karma, not performing karma is akarma. What's the big deal? Gahanā karmaṇo gatiḥ. Lord Krishna says that karmaṇo gatiḥ. Here gatiḥ means the truth of the reality. Gahanā means inscrutable. Here Arjuna understands that the karma is inscrutable. The nature of karma is inscrutable. It is sort of mysterious and inscrutable. So there is a famous bhajan, I think by Kabir, where he describes Gahanā karmaṇo gatiḥ as how this peacock has such beautiful body and such ugly legs, and how the cuckoo has such beautiful voice and such bad hair, black color, and he describes these things. What are these contradictions? So that he describes as Gahanā, that is karma ki gati nyari, that he says, meaning that the gati or nature of karma is something quite different, quite inexplicable. But just between you and me, there the poet is talking about karma phala. But look at this bird called cuckoo, such sweet voice, and look at the colors, black in color, if black is supposed to be ugly, imagine. So he describes various things where we see such contradictions, and why should not cuckoo, which is given such a beautiful voice, should be given a beautiful body also? So he says that karmaṇa ki gati nyari. The gati or the nature of karma is something inscrutable. I don't know if some of you have heard this bhajan or not, but anyway. But that's not what Lord Krishna says. There the poet says the nature of karma phala is unexplicable. Here Lord Krishna says karma itself is not explicable. Gahanā karmaṇo gatiḥ. There he says the gati of karma phala is difficult to understand. Lord Krishna says the nature of karma is inscrutable. So what's the big deal, Swami? Karma means performing action. Inaction means not performing action. What's the big deal about it? What is action? Doing something. Inaction, not doing something. Isn't it so? Therefore, Lord Krishna says in the 18th verse, Karmaṇya karma yah pasyed akarmani sa karma yah sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayuktah kritsna karma krita. typical language of paradox that Lord Krishna uses in many places. Karmaṇi akarma yah pashyet. Yah pashyet, one who sees. Karmaṇi, in action. Akarma, inaction. One who sees inaction, inaction. Akarmaṇi, it's a karmaya. And one who sees action in inaction. One who sees inaction in action and sees action in inaction. So buddhiman manusyeshu. He is the one who is really intelligent or wise among human beings. So one who sees contrary to what is there. What is there is action. The wise person sees inaction. What is there is inaction. Wise person sees action. Sabuddhiman manusyeshu. That person is wise among all men. Sayuktaha Krishna karma. He is a real yogi in the real sense. He is the one who has performed all the duties in his life, who has nothing remains to be done. He is fulfilled, totally fulfilled in his life. Just by knowing this, one becomes fulfilled in life. Karmani akarma yah pashyet. In karma, one sees akarma. In action, one sees actionless. This is a theme in the Bhagavad Gītā almost throughout. In the 5th chapter, Lord Krishna describes a wise person. The wise person says, Naiva kinchit karometi, I do not do anything. Naiva kinchit karometi yukto manyeta tattvavid. The wise person says, I do not do anything. While seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, walking, talking. Understand, he says, I do not talk. How does he say that? He talks. He says, I do not talk. He says, I do not speak. But that is, he speaks this. I do not speak. You see what I am saying? Wise person says, he says, I do not speak. What do you mean you do not speak? I hear you speaking. He says to me, I do not speak. Then who is speaking? I do not walk. Who is walking? I do not talk. Who is talking? I do not eat. Who is eating? It's totally contradictory, is it not so? Well, again, let me go back to that example of an actor performing the role of a beggar. Again, remind you, he says, I do not beg. You know what the actor, who is a wealthy person, you know what does he say? I do not beg. Would he be right or not? He's begging. He's singing songs, tears coming from his eyes. Where he has studied lots of beggars and so is much effective than any beggar also. He's doing it very well. And while doing that, he says, I do not beg. I do not cry. Who is crying? Who is begging? So while begging still, so in begging one who sees non-begging. You follow? In case of that actor, what you see is begging on the stage. What does he say? I do not beg. Begging is from the standpoint of the audience or onlookers, but not begging is from the standpoint of the non-begging is from the standpoint of the actor. So how two different standpoints bring about two contrary interpretations of the same event, is it not so? How there can be two contrary descriptions, two contrary understanding of the same event, same phenomenon, same entity, depending upon what viewpoint you have. And Lord Krishna, that's what he wants to teach us. That neva kinchit karomi, the wise person says, I do not do anything. While eating, walking, talking, he says, I do not do anything. Then who is walking? Who is talking? Indriyani, indriyartheshu vardante. My sense organs are interacting with the sense objects. I am not hearing, my organ of hearing, ears are hearing, eyes are seeing, vocal cords are talking, legs are walking, mouth is eating. How can you say that? How can mouth eat? How can ears hear? How can eyes see without you? If you leave this thing, will the eyes see? Will the ears hear? As long as you are here, then the ears are hearing, eyes are seeing, etc. So that is where he says, yes, I appear to be walking, talking, but from my standpoint, I do not do anything. So this is a knowledge that Lord Krishna is talking about. This is knowledge about the self that he wants us to get. That how in action, for example, walking, talking that I am doing, once is inaction, meaning that non-talking. The hearing that you are doing, one sees non-hearer, let us say. In talking, one sees non-talker. In hearing, one sees non-hearer. In walking, one sees non-walker. He is liberated. So, we'll expand on this theme tomorrow. But the explanation is very simple. As I just told you also, about the actor and the beggar, explanation is very simple. That whereas he is begging from the standpoint of others, he is not begging from his own standpoint. Thus, this is a description of two different standpoints. He is talking and not talking. Talking from one standpoint, not talking from another standpoint. That second standpoint you understand, then you can do everything and still not do anything, meaning that become free from any actions or consequences. That's what Lord Krishna says, that the actions do not taint me and I have no longing for the results of the action, because even though I create the world, sustain the world, destroy the world, and still I have nothing to do with any of these things. So, that's a great secret that Lord Krishna is revealing. Swami, what does it matter to us? In my day-to-day life, I have to go to work and I have to do my duties and all this teaching that what you are talking about, what relevance does it have in my life? Does this have relevance in my day-to-day life? Does it help me in any way to become free from my tensions and worries and anxieties? Can it remove my conflicts and, fears, etc.? Very much so. Yat jnatva mokshase ashubhat. Lord Krishna said, knowing which you become free from all ashubha, free from all sorrow, free from all worries and anxieties, become free in every respect. So, this is what Lord Krishna is teaching about the secret of karma, which also happens to be the secret of ourselves and secret of everything. We will continue our discussion tomorrow morning. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.